Hello everyone and welcome to another video with me and my text that is slightly just out of place. There we go. I'm recording everything on the Chocobo screen tonight just because, well, the subject that I'm going to be talking about in this video, when I hear this music, I immediately think of getting out of Midgar, going onto the world map before heading over to the Midgar Zulum and heading, of course, Chocobo Farms. Good memories. You know, I just want to preface this video of saying, yes, Final Fantasy VII is my favorite Final Fantasy. So seeing the FF7 Remake news collaboration with this game is an exciting moment for me. It's hard not to be, a little bit excited after, especially after what I feel like the last 3 months of Wotv on the JP side has been a bit of a downer for me. I haven't had, I feel like more recently I've had less time, and I don't feel bad about that because I've been doing other things with my time and playing other games and having fun. But, 7 was a kind of a yippee moment just because, obviously, some of my best memories are with 7. And I could always do a video about this more and more, talking about memories with each Final Fantasy. But 7 was really the one that was near and dear to my heart. It is a mix of technology and fantasy. It's a gritty, grimy world, which is something I really like. I love Blade Runner, both Blade Runner movies, actually. Faults and everything, which there are faults, but I love those movies unabashedly. And, I just remember, growing up and like going to school and then coming home and being able to pop in Final Fantasy 7, do chocobo racing and all the weird characters and awesome characters. The Temple of the Ancients and the City of the Ancients was my favorite location in any video game ever. And also as one of my favorite pieces of music in any video game ever. Anyway, I have a ton of love for Final Fantasy VII. I've joked many times that I've beaten Final Fantasy 7 maybe 30 plus times, and that's kind of a joke because I have lost count to a certain extent anymore. I've just played that game to death, and I love the remake as well. But without gushing too much about a game I really, really love, I do want to talk a little bit about, well, the producer live letter and what are my predictions for Final Fantasy VII, because obviously the community is in a buzz about the initial news, and we have to wait until April 17th. The live stream will take place on a Saturday in Japan, and about 8 p.m. Japanese Standard Time. And at that time, we will get more information. We will get information about characters, kits, what kind of maps we might be fighting, what kind of vision cards we'll be seeing, how many parts there will be, how long it will go for. There's a ton of details that we don't know yet. But back during the Brave Exvius days, I really loved doing videos every month of kind of guessing what would be coming in the following month. Not because I really enjoy being right, or, I really enjoy being wrong, but just because it's a fun thing to do to try and guess. So first of all, I'm going to guess about our 2 units that we have currently already said, and make some general predictions about the event. So first of all, Cloud. A lot of people will probably have some wild theories about Cloud, especially one of the things whenever we think about a character in Wotv, the first thing I think a lot of people think about is Element. So personally, a lot of people I'm sure would like thinking, wind. Some people might be thinking maybe lightning. And honestly, with me, with Wotv, it's usually the more recent units that kind of point in a direction to what we won't be getting for specific. And with Cloud, my prediction is Earth Element. And why? Well, mainly at this point, I'm going to say the main reason that I'm predicting that Cloud is going to be an Earth Elemental is because the Thunder Elemental character of Charlotte from Brave Exvius is coming out this month. She's supposed to be a magic tank. And what better way to counter a magic tank than with a Earth Elemental physical sword dealer? And yes, there are other Earth Elemental physical characters, but usually the meta in based on what I've experienced in the Wotv side, is to always bring out a new character of the opposing element to kind of counter a strong character. And I'm not saying that Cloud is going to be weak by any means. Cloud is going to be likely incredibly powerful. He is a gacha character, more so than Tifa, since Tifa's first copy comes from just logging into the game. So Cloud being a gacha character tells me that I think he's going to be incredibly powerful, maybe even dangerously so. Double cost? No. That is a prediction I'll get right out of the way. I'm going to say that everything in Final Fantasy VII event is not going to be double cost. Because of the backlash on the JP side, I don't think they could get away with it, or if any of the characters are 100 cost, I think their Lapis cost will be. Okay. But anyway, Cloud, primary job is going to be soldier first class. I think his secondary job going into it, I think that he's going to have, and this is a tricky one, because the FF7 characters, because of materia, you always think they have magic abilities. But I'm going to say that Cloud is going to have a sub-job of ninja, particularly because you see him flipping around a lot in the game, and he's a pretty agile little character, even though he's carrying a big sword. So, you know, even with how big that sword is, I would say very much that Cloud is going to be have a ninja sub-job, more because it's important in-game for him to have a good, decent amount of mobility to keep up with other characters. I don't think he's going to be more of a defensive unit. I think he's going to be a bruiser type character, which is why the other job I think he's going to have is fighter. Because fighter is an incredibly up-close brawly type. It would potentially give him move to ability. It would also give him potential synchronization with Tifa too. Cloud using, you know, more punchy attacks isn't unreasonable or anything, since he is a generally strong character. I could see those two as the main job, but I think he will stay mainly physical, and I don't think we're going to see much in the way of magical here. And yeah, I think that's about it to say about Cloud. Other than that, I think my overall prediction is that Cloud will be a meta shaper. I think that much in the way that Yuna was, I think that this character is going to be scary to fight in the future. So yeah. Also, the artwork looks absolutely amazing. I'm glad they used the remake costumes. I mean, Tifa's waist is way too small still, but that's the Wotv art problem, isn't it? All right. Speaking of Tifa, a fan favorite and definitely a positive ring in the community, being that her first copy will be free based on login. That is confirmed in the producer live letter, so don't worry about that. You'll just need the shards to match her. Obviously, she's going to have a primary new class martial arts expert. Would probably be my guess for the title, but we'll take a look and see what it is when it gets there. Tifa is going to be a big deal in the game, mainly because I think a lot of us are pinning our hopes on a strike unit being really good, and given that Jet's son, Edis, Blitzy Boy, and also known as Tidus by some. All right, yeah. All of these. Given the way that he was treated in the past, I for sure see Cloud getting a vision card for himself. But I could see that Tifa here will end up getting a vision card, mainly because Strike has been much maligned in terms of a damage type. And I think that Tifa will be a meta breaker as well, mainly because there just isn't a ton of resistance against Strike at this point. And Strike is a gap in a lot of people's base, but also because she's a brand new character, and I'm expecting that they are expecting that FF7 will bring in a lot of new players, or new players in general. Well, then what's a better way than to give a character that potentially stands a good chance against other characters? I am expecting her to be a water elemental character, just because we know traditionally he does have a, dolphin blow. She does have somersault, which are two characterized by water element. With that being said, though, I'm just going to give a weird prediction for Tifa as well, that she's actually going to end up being Fire Elemental. Possibly because she could synergize with Rudo, if I'm remembering correctly, the Fire Fist Elemental character. But more than likely, I'm probably going to say she's going to be Water, just because I think that counters a good amount of stuff currently, with UR Mont being a thing. Other than that, I think that Tifa is going to be really great. Sub-job, I want to say that she'll end up getting Thief for agility. And other than that, I don't know what I would give her. Maybe Red Mage. And this is a really out there prediction, because, like, obviously I could just do like a Cloud thing again and just be like, well, obviously they're going to give her a new job that's based on Strike. They're going to give her Fighter, and then they're going to give her Monk. And if those are the three that actually turns out, then I said it. But other than that, I think that Tifa is actually going to end up with a more varied type of damage, because I think that in a lot of other games, she usually ends up with a magic attack. That seems to be the design document. But I expect Tifa to be potentially a little bit more of a different character, but still primarily focused on physical, but maybe with some magic support stuff that comes from having Red Mage. It's a weird prediction, but we'll see if I'm right. You are all... well, we'll save that for the end. Now, it should be noted that Final Fantasy VII is going to have a login bonus. Basically, from April 1st all the way till April 20th, you can get a bunch of these tokens to end up getting character shards for both Tifa and Cloud. Whoops, accidentally closed that. Gotta scroll back down, enjoy the music. Alright, so this is a big thing for 7. It looks like they're trying to be pretty generous with this, and I think that's a good thing. 7 should be a major ease of access point for people getting into the game, and it should not be a major roadblock for new players, otherwise the new players won't stay very long. Taking a look at the event itself, I expect the event for Final Fantasy VII to last approximately about 1 month, or more than likely until the 1 year or the 1.5 year anniversary. Seems like a good time for the collaboration to end, so that we can probably focus on Wotv starting its next major part in the story for the anniversary, as well as focusing more on Wotv characters for the 1.5 anniversary, and potentially Tomb Raider. Anyway, I expect the Cloud's weapon to be a UR farmable weapon from a raid. I expect Tifa's weapon to be potentially farmable from just a doing the regular missions. I expect that Guard Scorpion will probably be the boss we are fighting. I don't know if I really expect Sephiroth to be in this at all, which, shifting discussion to the supposed Part 2, anyone who knows that how Final Fantasy X worked when it came to the game, there was initially the Yuna and Jet Sun banner. Yeah, I'm referring to him as that still. And then after that, there was the Orin as well as the Vision Card banners. I think we could see the same thing here, but I'm kind of expecting, obviously... I think that there will be 2 follow-up characters in a next banner. Particularly Barret, I think, is going to be in the game as a UR. I want to say that he's going to be a gacha character as well, but I think that he could be a first copy free in the same way that Tifa will be as well. And I'm not going to make too many predictions for Barret. I think that he is going to be a fire elemental gunner, which is... a reasonable thing. I think he'll also have maybe Hunter and Blue Mage. No, I just wanted to see if people got really excited if I said. No, I think that Barret will be probably will be gunner, his primary job, and maybe some kind of fist fighter as well, since he does have some up-close physical attacks in the remake. So yeah, I think that he is going to be Fire Elemental, though. Just that's currently it. And the last character will be a gacha-based character, and that's going to be Aerith, because Aerith is way too much of a moneymaker to not bring into the game. Aerith is one of the most popular characters, and obviously with 7 Remake, a lot of people are really happy with her, so there's almost no way that she's not showing up. I think that she will be a light elemental character, not necessarily because we didn't get already a light elemental character, but I just think it's thematically appropriate for her, or wind could also be a possibility, but I'm going to stick with light for my prediction. Other than that, I think she'll have a primary job that's maybe more DPS, obviously, or no, maybe healer, maybe some combination of Holy in her kit, obviously, because that's a signature move and whatnot. Status effect protection will probably be her big thing. She'll probably be a much upgraded version of Ayaka, and that being said, I am thinking that she is going to be light elemental. I think that her sub-jobs will probably be some version of Black Mage as well as Cleric. And yeah. Last prediction, and probably there will be some piece of farmable thing for each of those characters as well. But last prediction is that I think that Sephiroth is not going to be in this event, other than maybe a boss. I would say I'm going to give about a 20% chance that he shows up in the same way that Golbez was. But I feel like they're probably wanting to hold back Sephi. I really don't think we're going to see Sephi in any form in the gacha. So yeah, to keep this video relatively short, sitting at the 16 mark, I am going to throw one really wild prediction out there, and that is that the other character that will show up with Aerith will not be Barret, but will actually be Yuffie. And the main reason that I'm going to say that Yuffie is a potential possibility is that she is tied in heavily with the FF7 Remake Integrate version, since she is one of the main pieces of DLC, and it would be a good way to promote it. It's not to say that we couldn't see FF7 Remake have another banner pop up in June when the Integrate goes live on the PS5. It's just that I'm thinking that given the struggling bit of content that Wotv has kind of had for the last 3 months, I feel like they might want to capitalize on it now. And Yuffie would be an interesting addition to the game. A new ninja-based character, a new ninja with a more upgraded kit with some nice range that would be potentially a range slash character, much in the way maybe of a gunner because of her unique weapon and whatnot. So yeah. Yuffie is going to be my really weird, odd prediction, and I'm going to say that she's going to be a dark elemental character, but just to close out my predictions, one of the main reasons, so Cloud, I think, will be Earth to counter Charlotte. Tifa, I think, will be Water to counter Rain. Aerith will be Light to counter Venera's EX. And Barret will be Fire to counter Laswell X. That's kind of my general predictions about what is going to happen, but we will find out on April 17th, which is not too far away, about 3 weeks. So, ish. So, depending on when this video goes up, too. So, let me know what you think. What are your predictions for FF7 Remake? And we'll find out who is right and who is dead on the 17th. And looking forward to the 21st, because honestly, love 7. Love 7. Good memories. Looking forward to seeing it. So thanks very much for watching. Take care, and see you next time.